All right, today's video took me 10.5 hours to do. Pretty cool. It's kind of a bathroom. These arches I don't really do as much, so it just kind of took me a little longer than I thought. But still, it's like 80 bucks an hour. Pretty cool, huh? Change your mindset, how money works. It's free if you want it to be, basically, right? So I spent 10.5 hours and I made $80 an hour. How many of you can say that? Let's say you're even making 10 bucks an hour, right? How long would it take you to make $800? 820 actually. Forever, right? Forever. Even if it's $20 an hour, how long would it take? Forever. Even if it's $30 an hour. You have a welding job and you get 30 an hour and you brag to all your friends, I get 30 an hour. I make 80 an hour. Well, this job, right? Change your mindset. Money can just appear out of nowhere. Let's get straight into drywall. This one's kind of fun. Coming into this job, the customer had already hung the drywall and put the bead on. He did a pretty good job. He said he was in previous construction, and it was actually a pretty good job what he did. I normally use yellow mesh tape. I ran out of that, so I ended up using white mesh tape. I just had that. So I did tape all of the bead. Just some of it you can't really tell because it's the white tape. If you pause it, you probably could see it. But anyway, this is the very first coat. I think I do 4 coats on this, but just the very first coat. And don't get too hung up on how the first coat looks. It doesn't need to look that good. Just get it slopped up there, and because you're just filling the fills. With bullnose and this kind of arched decorative window type thing here, between each layer you have to sand and bring the drywall back to smooth before you do your next layer. So that's what I'm doing here, just kind of smoothing it out, and then I'll go on with layer 2 of mud, which is here. Each layer of mud that you do requires less and less of the mud because the fill is getting filled, so you just need less mud to achieve that. So it dries very quickly as you start getting it. I believe this is coat 3. Anyway, but we're just doing the same thing. We're just kind of wiping the exact same thing. All right, here I'm doing the same thing again, just kind of sanding it out, getting it all back to smooth for my final 4th layer of mud. So basically when I say you need to sand it out, just again, you're just taking all the edges off, all the rough parts off, so it's smooth. So when you put your next layer of mud on, you don't have any drag marks from bits of hardened mud. The inside corners there on the shower door, I used a special knife. It's kind of a rounded rubber knife, and it gives a really nice rounded look. So that's what I did there. So just kind of getting our final layer of mud put on. This is the final day here, so I'm just sanding everything out so it's perfectly smooth. This was an orange peel texture, not my favorite texture, but anyway, that's what I'm doing now, just sanding everything out so we have perfectly flat walls in preparation for that orange peel texture. When it comes to orange peel, at Home Depot you can buy a can of orange peel texture. Don't buy that can. It is terrible, and it does a terrible job. This gun here, I think it was only $100. It's really not that. So even if you have a small job, I would recommend buying this gun just to have it. There's a small bit of learning curve with this gun because even a small bit of PSI difference creates a different effect. So you got to learn just a little bit from it. This is our final product. I show the orange peel. So this one, I was just going to match the previous orange peel texture. Again, how high you set that PSI, it's going to change how it looks. So this orange peel is to match the existing orange peel. What I really liked about this project was just how large this shower is going to be. I think I turn around here and you see it, but it is a huge shower. This is going to be the vanity area. Here we go with the shower. I mean, you could have a party in there, just have a slumber party in there. It's going to be pretty fun. But anyway, this job turned out pretty good, and I was pretty happy with it. Again, it paid $820 and was about 10 hours of work. Okay, that one's all finished. Very interesting, wasn't it? That was a very cool looking bathroom. I didn't show it, but underneath, so that original shower flooded, and that's why they needed to demo that, and then they changed it to that. Underneath in the basement, there was a small ceiling patch. That I didn't show. So there was an additional patch down there on the ceiling. So again, that job was for $820 and took like a little over 10 hours to complete. So very interesting, isn't it? I made $82 an hour. The material, so maybe a little less. The material on it was probably 20 bucks. So I made, I don't know, 80 an hour or whatever. But very interesting, isn't it? Learn or change your mindset about how money works. It will change your entire life. Tell your friends about this channel, hit the like button, and grow up and go make some real money. Thanks.